start here regarding the front desk downstairs. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, we'll get started here. You've seen the title. My name's Mike Brakey. We're going to get into my bio a little bit. Let me give you a quick outline of what we're going to be doing here. Atlas Shrugged, top secret, connecting the dots. Part one is going to be a brief bio about myself inside the energy industry. A lifetime of connecting energy dots is what I've been doing for the last 40 or 50 years. Question, did Atlas Shrugged rise from the ashes of a Manhattan Project screenplay called Top Secret? You're essentially going to be the jury. I'm going to present the evidence. Then we can discuss at the end if I'm full of beans or if there's merit to what we've discovered here in the question and answer period. So starting with my bio, in the last 40 years, graduated from University of Maine, engineering physics, nuclear engineering minor, 1975. I wrote a thesis back then in 76. What would happen? I've always been focused on energy. What would happen if there was ever a nuclear accident? How would it impact our future? And then in 79, 3 Mile occurred. And so I wrote another thesis called Cosmic Orphan and set those away because then I started having kids and working for companies and so forth. So as time went on, I got an engineering strategic planning and marketing from Baldwin Wallace College. There I wrote a thesis, again because of my focus on energy and oil and keeping energy costs down. My thesis back then was with the oil industry, anytime production exceeds 90%, they control the price. You can ask anything you want. I mention that because that will come into play a little later if we have time. So for 40 years in the energy industry, plus I've done several international joint ventures with Japanese on manufacturing and energy related. 6 US patents, international heat exchangers. Again, my whole life has been, how can we get energy costs down? Because if energy costs are down, capitalism can thrive and flourish. Became founder of Brakey Energy, Ohio in 1999. We manage as much power as 3 Maines or I think 5 New Hampshires in a way of with our clients and so forth. I just, winner of an award in Maine, Francis Crowe Award, Lifetime Achievement for Distinguished Engineer. I say that's very close, just moving further, that means I'm closer to extinguished engineer. but while I still have time, I promised people at the presentation I'm still trying to connect dots. So it was at this speech, Connecting Dots Throughout My Life, I talked about how companies hire me to look at eclectic things and past technologies and how they could possibly be improved and why are certain things done certain ways. And that has helped save my clients hundreds of millions of dollars over time. So my life's history in the sciences stress the importance of finding abundant, cheap, clean energy to control capitalism. And I've done presentations all over the country related to that. It was my son 4 or 5 years ago who's a libertarian running for Senate in Maine, and he was Ron Paul's campaign manager for Maine. He said, "Dad, you should read this book because it talks about a gentleman, an inventor, who had technology that could have revolutionized the world." And so I said, okay, I'll read it, and I did. Then several years ago, in recent years, NASA physicist Kirk Sorensen uncovered a real-life storyline involving a Manhattan Project scientist, inventor, from the 1940s and 50s, who it said turned his back on an incredible invention. I call it Thor's hammer. What it was is a molten salt thorium reactor that actually had been built and worked. If true, they could have offered America abundant, clean, cheap energy for mankind's future. Instead, it was padlocked and hidden away for 40 years. So I started wondering about this because I'm a dot man. John Galt, inventor. Manhattan Project, inventor. Energy technology that can change the world. It's taking place in the 1940s and 50s. Ayn Rand is working on this, or Alicia Rosenbaum, who's now known as Ayn Rand, is working on this. And so I'm thinking, is there a possibility, any connection between this? Is this merely a coincidence, or might there be more to this story? So you as a jury here, I'm going to Richard Feynman, a professor and physicist, and we're going to discuss the first one heavily here, and it is